Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. This is Director Kim. Hope you are doing really good. Alright, today in this video I want to show you how you can color grade dark skin tone. This is one of biggest challenge most of people they facing, especially a beginner. So today in these techniques I want to show you how you can able to color grade dark skin tone, as well as I want to give you a very small tip. All the skin tone, all the human skin tone forms are same range of color. The difference is the luminance and the contrast and the reflection of a light. So we're going to discuss about that thing very lessly. And remember, all these things been explained deeply to my masterclass. So if you want to know perfectly about color grading, purchase my masterclass tutorials so you're able to shift yourself into pro levels. As well as I have other products. I have a Skintone LUT, I have LUT packages, I have a DCTLs and the other plugins. So DM me, inbox me, or go to the link down in the description, download this product. And remember, if you're going to buy 3 products, you're going to be my permanently student. And as well as every Sunday, I'm about to do free live sessions. So if you want to know about the schedule, the topic, and every further explanations, there is a link down there in the description so you're able to join to my WhatsApp group, or DM me on WhatsApp so I'm able to join you on my WhatsApp group for live session on a Sunday. It's free, guys. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to get anything to get this accessibility. Alright, so as you can see, we are into DaVinci Resolve, and this is our shot. This is our young, beautiful lady. Look her skin tone. It's really beautiful, and I love this type of skin. It looks massive. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is, as usual, that we used to do, is I'm going to convert this footage from the log format into DaVinci format. So this has been shot with the red camera, so I'm gonna put a red log film and then I'm convert this into DaVinci format just like this. All right, so I'm also going to compress the saturation, and then I'm going to add color space transformation again, and then I'm going to put this into DaVinci intermediates, convert to sRGB. All right, look at the beautiful how it is. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do after compress this, you can see the reason why people been asking why Director Kim you always love to compress the saturation to the color space transformation. Look how this gacking thing is got to be open, and look when I just compress the saturation, look how these things is got to be fixed. All right, so this is one of the biggest techniques that I love to make my footage keep clean, just like that. All right, so the next thing that I'm about to do is using a film emulation. So I'm not using DaVinci film emulation because I have this stock of mine which is beautiful. I have a different type of Kodak, different type of film prints, so I kind of love it. So I'm gonna look at the one that works perfectly, but make sure you convert this into cine film so it doesn't have to clip our image. So I'm going to convert to cine film. You can see, so we have a big room into it. So this is Kodak. We're going to try Fuji. We're going to try cross electrochrome. We're going to try another Kodak. We're going to try this one. We're going to try this. We're going to try negative. We're going to try this. We're going to try this. We're going to try classic. I kind of like Kodak how it is, and this one. So we have 2 Kodaks. So we have this one and we have this one. It's kind of different, right? I kind of love this one. And we're gonna try if we need a warm, cold, or neutral. So I think I'm gonna need the first one. It kind of looks good, right? So this is it. After doing so, after using these 2, I'm gonna try to use one from my package. So if you want to buy this one, go there, link on description below so you can purchase this one. This is one of my favorite film prints. It's Kodak 23 Vision 3. Look how beautiful it's giving image, the tone just like that. Look how beautiful it's giving that film kind of texture, right? So I'm gonna compound note this and call this one print, right? So this is going to be our print. All right, so this is after, this is before, this is our log, and this is our Rex overnight and the print processing. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is try to balance the exposure. Okay, so I'm gonna use a global to bring down the exposure a little bit. So this is going to be our exposure node, exp. All right, and then I'm gonna create another node, which is this is going to be our compression. Then I'm going to try to compress the image to make the room to the highlight. Look at how I'm doing. This is a place that I'm focus match. All right, I can even do this without watching my image. All right, so let me redo it. I'm going to compress the image as soon as possible, just like this, and then I'm going to compress the highlight until I starting see my highlight is getting to the 700%, and then as well as I keeping increase the shadows, so I don't want this to be below 100%. Right, so this is it. And then I'm just going to keep compressing just like that. Right, this is how I compress the image. Look at before, look at after. Look, before was a very super glanking, very, I don't know what I can call it, but it was a very aggressive. Right, so the next thing that I'm going to do, this is going to be my dynamic compress. Right, the next thing is I'm going to do a color correction. So I'm going to create two parent nodes. So today we're going to use a little bit different technique. Right, before I was using all these things at the same node, but today I want to feed the clean result. So it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to contrast my image up to 0.5, and then I'm going to put my pivot to 0.336. all right, that's it. This is our first stage. Okay, and second stage is our color. I mean, this is our contrast. Right, this is our contrast. So contrast. All right, the second stage is our balance. So I'm gonna balance the highlight, and I'm gonna balance the temperature as well. All right, so I'm gonna try to do with the color slider. So the benefit of using color slider is it because whenever I'm just sliding my image, it doesn't wash out my image. It just keep it clean. It just doesn't lose my contrast. Right, so I'm gonna raise the shadow a little bit. You can see it's rise up the shadow, but as well we still have the contrast on. All right, so I'm gonna use highlight a little bit to reduce it. So whenever I open, okay. And also I'm going to use my lefty gamma gain. I'm using this my panel. Right, I'm putting my gain a little bit and reducing. I'm just pushing my gamma a little bit and reducing my gain a little bit, so I'm kind of balanced like that. And then also I'm going to use my HDR light a little bit to make my highlights super clean. This is one of the biggest techniques people I always want to tell you when you do color corrections. I'm gonna explain this on next tutorial about doing the color correction techniques. When it comes to collecting the color corrections, you don't have to touch only single one stuff. Trust me, because every tools that we're about to use has its own benefits and it has its own disadvantages. So guys, please, if you're going to do a correction or anything, don't lay on same tools. Just touch a less of it, a less of this, a less of this, and then boom, you get something greater. You see, so you can see where I've done this. I use shadow slider, I use highlight slider, I use HDR tools, I use gamma tools. Guys, it's full of twisting. I never lay on single one stuff. All right, so because I've done much of compression, we lost our details, huh? So we're gonna bring back our shadow by using shadow log tool out of color space transformation. So I'm gonna crank down my shadow. You can see. So let me zoom this. I'm using my color panel. You can see I'm clanking my shadow without affecting my mid-tone or my highlight. Look how beautiful it's giving us our shadow backs. But remember, I'm always look at the virtual scope. So when it comes to stuff like this, let me show scopes. I'm always look at these things. I'm looking at this shadow, you see. So I don't want this to be down, just too much down there. Just I want this to be a little bit touching to zero. I don't want this to be below the zero. So I'm carefully bring my shadow down very slightly. This is one of the biggest techniques. So you can see before and after the whole process. You can see it doesn't touch a 100%. Okay, so this is our correction. Let me do this. This is our correction. This is before and this is after. You can see how massive we got our correction to the highlight. It's not about the color, it's highlight. All right, so I'm going to try something else. I'm going to increase the saturation a very slightly because the image has so much saturation. Okay, and as well as I'm gonna try to fix my white balance. I would love to have a tone type of look. So to my white balance point, I'm gonna try to increase the temperature to the warmer. You can see, but it's give us so much reddish. And then I'm going to try to use my tint. I'm using my color panel, right, guys? The stuff that I'm touching here to my color panel is affecting this part. So you can see these numbers are a little bit changing. All right, so I'm going to use my tint, bring it down a little bit, somewhere around there. You can see. So this is before, this is after we correcting our white balance. All right, so guys, these things I want to tell you about the white balance. I will explain on my lessons live sessions. Someone asked about how you can proper correct your white balance. The explanation, just not too much, the bits of it, it's been there. So go and watch it. You can see how I able to correct white balance, the different techniques that I use. So this is our starting point, right? This is our starting point. So this is our color correction finisher. This is our balance and everything. You can see before and after. It's very slightly clean and a type of pretty dope. All right. So the next stage is going to be our look creativity. So we're gonna try to create a look type of tone, and as well as we're going to deal with the Skintone, the main purpose of this tutorial. And then we're going to finish the project. All right, so about look, I'm going to use my LUT. So it give it as the feeder as the print overall, the type of tone that we want. So I'm gonna try looking at the one that works perfect to my image. I kind of like look for. It's pretty dope. Let me use it. All right, and look A as well. It's pretty up. All right, this is impressive. It's pretty up as well. So I think look for is good for me now. So guys, if you want this LUT package, go down there on description below, so you're able to get this LUT package. It has a look DNA and a Skintone. Guys, look at before, look at after this, how it done. It's massive and a pretty top. All right, so I'm gonna use another LUT outside of color space, just like this. I put in 0.5 here, and I'm gonna look for something that's bringing feeding to my image. So I kind of feel like look 15 and look 13 is pretty dope, but I will go with the look 13. Look how pretty this warm is gotta give. All right, so one thing that I'm going to do is try to clean this bluish as soon as possible. So I'm coming to this part because this footage is not super 8-bit footage. It's been compressed too much. It's not ProRes file. It's just H264, so it's compressed. So as you can see, we have so much granking here, but don't worry, this is going to be fixed. But if I had the real footage of this one will never be here. All right, so that's it. I just clean, not too much, just very slightly. All right, and next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Skintone. Here's the problem. A lot of beginners, they struggle how to make color grading as pro level. YouTube itself can never pull up to that level. Director Kim came out with a massive masterclass phase 1 and phase 2, which is the phase 1 has 3 parts, and each of the parts has a long pause video. Having an issue with the color senses, color management, creating different looks, fixing problems, how to balance proper your footage, shot merging, dealing with the small budget camera, everything you need to know from DaVinci Resolve. Masterclass has deep explanations. If you really struggle with creating look, Director Kim never seen enough till he made it 26 LUT, which has look DNA and Skintone LUT and color separations. DCTR power grade also available. Director Kim really wants to shift you into next level. Have a permanent mentor who can guide you well to your journey of color grading. He decided to create a WhatsApp group for his own student member. But remember, to join a WhatsApp group, you need to buy one of his products, either Masterclass or LUT package. Now, let's back into the lesson. All right. So I'm going to qualify the skin tone like this. Just like this. Just like this. Okay. And look how these techniques that I'm going to do right here. Okay. The first thing, is I'm going to use my gamma. So this is the biggest techniques that I told you guys. One thing that I want to tell you about this skin tone is that every human skin tone has the same type of range of color. All of us, we have a same range of color. The difference is the luma and refraction. The dark skin tone has the much density, has a less reflection of light, and the luma is too darker. We have a very heavy density compared to white people. They have very brightest. They have a lighter density, the less of it, and actually the reflection of them is super high, not just like us. So what makes a difference here when it comes to color grading is make sure you balance well make sure you balance where your color range, the color ranges. And the skin tone, it doesn't necessarily has to be in this line, as you can see, but sometimes you can lay a little bit to the yellow part or to the magenta part. You see, so the melanin is what makes the difference. I mean, the melanin is the same, but the luma is what's making the difference. You see, so you can see this skin tone. If I'm increasing the highlights just like this, you can see she's starting losing that darkish that we see. You see, and whenever I'm just bringing down this luma, just like this, you can see she's getting very darker. So this is a problem. When you do this in a post-production and the lighting never comes, the reflection never comes too much to the pre-production, that is going to be a problem. That's why I told you to get the perfect skin tone, it's starting from the set itself. You have to make sure you prepare perfect a key light to the subject, so you're able to get, if you shoot a dark person, make sure you have a lot of light into him. So when it comes to the post like this and reduce the luminosity, the skin tone is getting in the perfect positions. But when you shoot it, or you're shooting a white person, yeah, you can brighten it up to the pre-production, but it's not super necessary, because when you brighten it up, you're going to brighten up on the background as well. So when it comes to post-production like this, and you try to color grade in the skin tone and the background, you have to reduce the light. So whenever you reduce the light, the dark area is going to be super reducing, but the subject is going to be pop, but dark area you're unable to see it. And this is one of the biggest problem people are facing when they're shooting that person and the white person, especially to the background. Mostly you want to feed subject too much, but you don't pay attention on the background. That is a problem. So this is what make a huge difference. When you shoot white person, because they have a much reflection of a light, you need to feed your background more light as well, because when it comes to post-production like this and you try to balance the image, you'll be able to see what's going on to the background and you'll be able to see the subject, you see. But when you will do when you shoot a dark person, make sure you put a lot of light to the subject more than the background, so we able to see the person. That is what makes the difference between these two peoples when it comes to shoot and color grading. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If you never understand, please contact me so I'm able to explain it deeply. The difference is reflection, guys. So when you put much light to the subject of dark person, that is not going to be a problem. But when you put a lot of light to the white person and you forgot about the background, that is going to be a problem. You see, that is what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, so the first techniques that I'm doing to get the perfect skin tone. First, I'm pushing down my gamma until I start to see my skin tone is getting yellow parts, okay? And then I'm putting my gain, my green channel, until I start to see my skin tone is getting orange, just like this. You see? So this is one of the biggest secrets. And then I'm trying to reduce the saturation and color boost as well, so to fix the skin tone saturation. You see, if I reduce the saturation too much, I'm getting that silver skin tone. This is another skin tone type, the silver skin tone. The silver skin tone is a skin tone that have a super very lace saturation, and it have a much juices to the luma. It has a light popping, and it's all matter of contrast. You see, that is a way of technique of getting silver skin, and I'm going to explain it on next tutorial how to get the silver skin. Today we're gonna deal with the dark skin. All right, so after reducing the color boost, and I'm keeping juice up my green channel and reduce a little bit of that bluish, so we get that magenta type of tone, not yellowish. And then I'm going to increase my saturation as well, so we don't lose the saturation. So you can see before and after. Look how perfectly the skin we starting to get here. All right, this is it. And one thing that I love about this method, this technique that I do, look at before the skin tone it was. Let me show you. I don't know why sometimes my keyboard are losing. All right, the keyboard doesn't want to work. Okay, look at before. Look at this skin tone has so much blanking here. It has different type of color. This is one is right. This one is super boom. This is super boom. This is boom boom. You see, it's super boom boom. You see, it doesn't look good. And look at now how we able to collect all these things together. All right, this is one of the biggest techniques that I'm doing. Okay, and another thing that's how we try to do is just I will try to make this skin tone look a little bit magenta. All right, so I'm gonna try to use my U verses, and I'm going to select the type of skin part like this, and I'll try to bring it up a little bit. So I want it to make magenta skin tone, just like this. Not too much, just like this. You can see. So I'm trying to make it looks magenta or reddish, I can call it. And I keep reducing the saturation. All right, that was too much. That's just too much. I mean, look how beautiful we get our skin tone. Looks absolutely pretty dope. This is not the end, guys. This is not the end. There are some juice which if we were going to do, we'll make it look super dope. But this is what I want to tell you. If you don't want to spend all these times working on these processes, that's why I've created this skin tone LUT in here. So you're able to choose any skin tone that you want, and they're going to look beautiful as this way down here. All right. So this is our first thing. Don't be stressed with the background, because our background, the skin, it looks the same with our skin tone. So don't be stressed on that. All right. So I try to bring in the saturation back a little bit. So just like that. Look how beautiful we got this. Look at before, look at after. The skin tone is pretty blending. All right. So the next thing that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to perfectlize, to shape, what we call it, for the people, those people that are using Photoshop, they know about the skin, I don't know what this called, the skin separation, something like that. I don't know the name, but yeah, it's kind of works beautiful for me. I kind of love this. So the first thing that I'm going to do here, we're going to work with the Luma. All right. So I'm going to try to increase the light. I'm using HDR tools. I'm going to use the light. So I want to chop it up, this highlight. You can see this area. This area, I want to make them shining as soon as possible. So I'm going to chop it them up to make this higher. And then I'm going to reduce the dark area. This part, you can see this other part. You can see this other part. So I'm trying to chopping them to make it darker, just like this, and keep chopping my highlights, making juice up. So you can see that was too much, guys. I just done too much, so I want you to show you what's going on. All right. So you can see how the highlight is chopping off, and you can see the shadow area is chopping. It's just, I don't know what to call. Oh, if you want to skin separation kwenye watu wa Photoshop, separation Photoshop kwenye unakuta skin huko kuna highlight zina chop, afu kuna shadow hivi. Dodge and ban, something like, yeah, they call dodge and ban, guys, something like that. So I forgot the name, but people on the Photoshop, they know about this. So this is one of our biggest technique that I use. So this was too much. You can see before, you can see it after. This was too much, so I'm going to do it slightly, not too much. So I'm going to increase a little bit number into my highlights there, and I'm going to reduce a little bit the shadow to my skin tone here. All right, this is how beautiful these techniques. Don't do too much, because whenever you do it, you're going to ruin your skin tone, right? This is before, this is after. Look how much we split up this highlight reflection and darkest reflection. This techniques is difference between this method and for the white people. No, white people, we have another method that I use. I will show you whenever I'm color grading a white person, right? So here I'm going to use my gain a little bit so it doesn't have to be darker, and come back here and keep my shadows down a little bit. Keep my highlight down a little bit. You can see this is before, this is after. Look how beautiful we creating this type of screen. All right. So the next thing that I love most when it comes to color grading a beautiful ladies, a beautiful girl just like this, I always love to use a beauty plugin. So they got to be softer, just like this. Look how beautiful they got to be, very softer, right? Okay, this is it. And last thing that I'm going to do is try to glow the image to make it super juice. So I'm gonna shine up a little bit, spread up a little bit, increase the gain just like this, using saturation, and try to blend my glow. Look how beautiful this is got to be. Massive. So this is a juice up. So maybe I can try to do a split to make my background a little bit colder. So I'm going to use my lift, and I'm going to try to make my background, my shadow area, a little bit colder, and pushing my highlight. This is a plain spot. Look at before, look at after. It's a very small twisting, all right? And another thing I will love, I kind of hate whenever background has a lot of light. So I'm gonna try to wipe off this area to make it a little bit less light. So I'm gonna reduce the gamma a little bit. All right. Oh, let's try. But looks good. All right. Let's try popping our subject a little bit more. And I'm gonna create a shadow slider. All right, so I tried to pop up my subject a little bit. This is before, this is after. You can see this is wonderful. I love this type of tone. It looks good. All right, one thing that's how we love to do is just I'll try to sharpen this image as soon as possible to have more detail. Just like this. Absolutely looks very impressive. Wonderful. Thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you really got something. And this is how we color grade a dark skin tone. As I told you before, there is not much difference between a dark person and a light person. You need to focus on reflections, and that's it. So the dark skin tone is perfectly get from source, and the light skin tone is where it got perfectly on source. But when it comes to the post-production like this, bro, it's all a matter of twisting and tweak. And these techniques that I showed you, you can use anywhere with anyone, any place. Just you need to apply this method. Thank you. See you on next video.